Hips under. Good. Keep that navel in. And notice that when you keep that navel in, you'll feel the core work when I push you aside. If you let it go, you might feel a little more of that lower back begin to strain. Okay, let's start bringing the hands up towards the ceiling. Have we done this one yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, scapula remains back. Good. Hips under. Elbows in, elbows in, elbows in. There you go. Start bringing the hands up. Scapula retracted. Hold that. Hips back. Rotate them under. Scapula stays back. Depress the shoulders at the same time as you lift the hands up. Same time. Beautiful. Do you feel the tension back here?
Hell yeah.
Hips under, pull the navel in, hold that position. Do not let the hips move forward from there. You shift the hips back, and then you rotate them under. Beautiful. Scapula remains back. You feel this burning?
Yep.
Take a break. I'm going to cover some movements with your legs. I want to see how much you remember of what we did with the squat yesterday. Remember how we were covering that?
Mm-hmm.
So you come in for a squat. Okay, we come up. Okay, so what I like, you're thinking intentionally about, okay, that the knees don't come forward.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want you to think this way. So I'll use it kind of to explain this. If I have no support structure, let's say if I stagger my stance, this is just going to be kind of like a biomechanical rule I want you to think of. If I have support, let's say if I'm going here and I squat on one leg, I have something supporting my balance here, right? So I can set it up to where I have no shearing force on my knee in this position, right? However, if I'm doing a squat, I have no support coming backward. So automatically my knees are going to have to slightly come forward. Just a slight bit. And obviously the furthest they're going to come forward is at about the toes because there's no method of compensation. Now obviously that is going to create a slight bit of shearing force on the knee. This is why we don't do squats as often as we do things that are contralateral. So the squat, you don't want to overdo this because little by little you're going to start creating that shearing and it's not going to be good for the knee joint itself. But for us, for right now, we still got to learn how to do this. It's an important type of movement. So what I want you thinking of is that the knees, they don't come forward too much. They come forward, but the furthest they're going to come forward is maybe to your toes. So let them come forward, and at the same time, you drop your butt back.
Okay.
Try it again. Knees can come forward. The hips hinge back. We keep the navel neutral. Scapula comes back. So we extend the T-spine, kind of how we did before. Good. Chin down. Good. How you doing over there, Carrie?
Good.
You feel good?
Yeah, I was going to lay on this for a little bit.
Cool, perfect. Come down a little lower. Beautiful. Navel in. T-spine. Do you feel this working right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's straighten the legs out. Finish out the squat. Stop there. We go right back to the standing position. We rotate the hips under. Good. Straighten the legs. Good. Rotate the hips under. Stop there. Scapula remains back. Good. We come down to the squat. Knees came forward.
Yep.
Knees are still coming forward. There you go. Good adjustment there. I want to see if you can feel your hamstrings begin to activate at the bottom. So watch me. As I go here, I come to the bottom of the squat. Watch my hamstrings. Do you see how I'm controlling them? But don't pull the knees in. Try coming down lower.
No, I'm doing my...
And just keep the navel in. And just what I want you to almost try to do is almost like you're pulling your pelvis back, like you're going to do that, but keep your navel in as tight as you can while you're opening up your ribs. And see if you can start to kind of get that tension back there. Do you feel that at all?
Mm-hmm. Look at my hamstrings.
Money. Scapula back. Start straightening the legs. Maintain the pressure on your hamstrings as you're straightening your legs. Keep going. Keep going. Stop. Rotate the pelvis under.
Oh, shit.
Tiring, right?
The hamstring part was fucking retarded.
Yep. Go again. Keep the hamstring tension. See if you can turn them on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Navel in.
When I
Elbows
turn them
back.
on, it's fucking way easier to balance.
There you go. Scapula back. Scapula back. Navel in. Pull this in. There you go. Slowly straighten the legs. Tuck the glutes under. Hold that. Money. And so the key point is when we take a break, when we get to the top,
Yeah.
you see what I mean? We got to control that. That's going to be a big, big part because the thing is your body's wanting to go into its plan B function of extending into the lumbar. You see what I mean?
That's from years of throwing people.
Yep. Which is still a good move. It's still a good thing. But the whole thing is, if you can add this before you throw that in,
it's more space.
just think you're throwing more of the gray area into between the black and white, which means you're going to have much more drive going into when you're doing something like that. So when you go into hyperextension, you have extension setting it up beforehand. Rather than going straight to hyperextension and having very little power, now you're gonna have, boom, you're gonna have the whole thing before you go into that hyperextension. Make sense?
Yeah, yes. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so let's try that again.